Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Jennie and Johnny's English podcast. I'm Jennie.
And I'm Johnny. Today we have a very interesting topic that I think many of you will absolutely love.
That's right. We're talking about how to learn English when you're, well, a bit lazy.
Hey, I'm not lazy. I'm just energy efficient.
Sure, Johnny, whatever you say. But seriously, not everyone has hours every day to study grammar books or sit in a classroom. Life is busy.
Exactly. Between work, family, friends, and just trying to relax, who has time for traditional studying?
Right, and honestly, traditional studying can be really boring. Memorizing vocabulary lists, doing grammar exercises, it's not fun for everyone.
So today we'll share some smart, easy methods that don't require much effort, but still help you improve your English significantly.
And these are methods we've personally tried or recommended to our students with great success.
Before we jump in, let me ask you something, Jenny. Do you consider yourself a lazy learner?
Well, I wouldn't say lazy, but I definitely prefer efficient methods. Why spend 3 hours studying when you can learn the same thing in 30 minutes using smarter techniques?
That's the spirit. It's not about being lazy. It's about being smart with your time and energy.
Okay, let's start with method number 1. Change your phone language to English.
Oh, this is brilliant. You use your phone every day, right? Maybe for hours?
Definitely. Most people check their phones hundreds of times daily. Some studies say the average person checks their phone over 80 times a day.
Wow, that's a lot. So, if your phone is in English, you're practicing without even thinking about it. You learn words like settings, notifications, battery, and download naturally.
And the best part? You don't need to sit down and study. You're just living your life.
Exactly. It's passive learning. Your brain absorbs English while you're doing normal activities like texting friends, checking social media, or setting an alarm.
Now, I should warn you, the first few days might feel a bit confusing. You might think, where's the settings menu? Or how do I turn off notifications?
That's totally normal. But after about a week, you'll get used to it. And that confusion is actually good, because it forces your brain to work and remember.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip. If you get really stuck, you can always take a screenshot and use a translation app. But try to figure it out first.
Another benefit is that you learn very practical, everyday vocabulary. These are words you'll actually use, not fancy words from a textbook that nobody says in real life.
Method number 2. Watch TV shows or movies you've already seen, but in English.
I love this one. This is actually how I improved my English a lot when I was younger. Why does it work so well, Jenny?
Because you already know the story. If you watch your favorite movie in English, you understand what's happening because you've seen it before. Maybe you've seen it 5 or 10 times already.
Right. So you can focus on the language, not the plot. You can learn phrases, pronunciation, and natural conversation without getting lost.
And here's a pro tip. Start with subtitles in your language. Then switch to English subtitles. And finally, try without any subtitles.
That's a gradual process that doesn't feel overwhelming. Each step builds on the previous one.
Exactly. And you're entertained at the same time. It doesn't feel like studying. You're just enjoying your favorite show.
I have a question for you, Jenny. What shows or movies do you recommend for English learners?
Great question. I always recommend starting with shows or movies made for families or younger audiences, like Pixar movies or Disney films. The language is usually clearer and simpler.
That's smart. And sitcoms are great too, shows like Friends or The Office, because they use everyday English and the episodes are short, usually around 20 minutes.
Plus, sitcoms have a lot of repetition. Characters say similar things in different episodes, which helps you remember phrases.
And one more tip, don't choose action movies for learning. There's often not much dialogue, and when there is, it's usually very fast or uses complicated language.
True. Save the action movies for when your English is already advanced.
All right, method number 3. Listen to English podcasts while doing other things.
Like this podcast?
Exactly like this one. You can listen while cooking, cleaning, exercising, commuting to work, or even while taking a shower.
The key is to choose podcasts at your level. If it's too difficult, you'll get frustrated and give up. If it's too easy, you won't learn anything new.
That's why we speak at B1 to B2 level here. It's challenging enough to help you improve, but clear enough to understand most of what we're saying.
And even if you don't understand everything, that's okay. Your brain is still getting used to English sounds and rhythm. You're training your ear.
I want to emphasize something important here. When you listen to podcasts, don't stress about understanding every single word. That's impossible, even for native speakers sometimes.
Absolutely. Focus on understanding the general idea, the main message. The details will come with time and practice.
And here's something interesting. Listening is actually one of the most important skills for communication. Before babies learn to speak, they listen for months and months.
That's a great point. We need to input before we can output. Listening gives you that input.
So what kind of podcast do you recommend besides language learning podcasts like ours?
I recommend finding podcasts about your hobbies or interests. If you love cooking, listen to cooking podcasts in English. If you like true crime stories, there are tons of those in English.
Because when you're interested in the topic, you're more motivated to understand, right?
Exactly. And you'll learn specialized vocabulary related to your interests, which is really useful. Method number 4. Think in English for just 5 minutes a day.
This sounds simple, but it's actually very powerful. Can you explain why?
Sure. When you think in English, you're practicing without needing anyone else. You don't need a teacher, a conversation partner, or even your phone.
And it's completely private. Nobody can hear your mistakes or judge you.
Exactly. You don't need to write anything down or speak to anyone. Just think.
For example, when you're making breakfast, think, I'm making coffee. I need to add milk and sugar. Oh, I'm out of sugar. I should buy some later.
Or when you're getting dressed. I'm wearing my blue jeans and a white shirt today. It's cold outside, so I need a jacket too.
It helps you practice using English in real-life situations without any pressure. And you know what? This method actually prepares you for real conversations.
How so?
Well, when you speak with someone in English, you need to think quickly and form sentences fast. If you practice thinking in English regularly, your brain gets faster at creating sentences.
That's so true. You're basically training your brain to work in English mode.
And 5 minutes is nothing. Even the laziest person can find 5 minutes. You can do it while waiting for the bus or standing in line at the supermarket.
Start with simple thoughts. Don't try to think about complicated philosophy or politics. Just describe what you see and what you're doing.
And if you don't know a word, that's okay. Try to describe it using other words or just skip it and keep going. The important thing is to keep your brain working in English.
Method number 5. Use English social media accounts. This is perfect for people who spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or Twitter. And let's be honest, that's most of us.
Guilty. I probably spend an hour a day on social media.
So why not use that time to improve your English? Instead of following accounts in your native language, follow English-speaking accounts about topics you love.
If you like cooking, follow English cooking accounts. If you love sports, follow English sports news. If you're into fitness, follow English fitness influencers.
You'll learn vocabulary related to your interests, which makes it more memorable and fun. Plus, you'll actually want to read the posts because you care about the content.
Plus, the posts are usually short and easy to understand. It's not like reading a difficult textbook or a long article.
And social media is very visual. There are lots of pictures and videos, which give you context and help you understand the words.
Another great thing about social media is the comments section. You can read what other people write. real, natural English from regular people, not textbook English.
That's true. Though I should warn you, sometimes people use a lot of slang or write incorrectly in comments. Don't copy everything you see.
Good point. Use your judgment. But overall, it's a great way to see how English is actually used in everyday life.
And if you feel confident, you can even try writing comments in English yourself. Start small with simple comments like, great video, or thanks for sharing.
That's a nice way to practice writing without feeling too much pressure.
Method number 6. Change one daily habit to English.
What do you mean by that? Can you give us some examples?
Well, pick just one small thing you do every day and do it in English instead. For example, write your shopping list in English.
Oh, I see. So instead of writing milk, bread, eggs in your language, you write it in English?
Exactly. Or check the weather forecast in English, or read recipes in English, or write your to-do list in English.
Just one small change. That's manageable for anyone, even someone who's very busy or, yes, a bit lazy.
And once that becomes easy and automatic, you can add another habit. But start with just one.
This is really about building a routine. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to force yourself to do it anymore. It just happens naturally.
Right. At first, it might feel a bit strange. You might be slower at writing your shopping list in English, but after a few weeks, it becomes automatic.
And the beautiful thing is, these small changes add up over time. One habit might only give you 5 minutes of English practice, but if you have 5 different English habits throughout your day, that's 25 minutes of practice.
Without even trying. That's the key. Make English part of your daily routine, not something extra you have to remember to do.
What other daily habits can people change to English?
Oh, there are so many options. You could keep a journal in English, just a few sentences about your day. You could set all your reminders and calendar events in English. You could change your GPS navigation to English.
Those are all great ideas. The important thing is to choose something that you actually do every single day, not something you only do occasionally.
Method number 7, and this is my personal favorite. Learn English through music.
Oh, yes. Who doesn't like music? Music is universal.
Right? You can listen to English songs and look up the lyrics online. There are so many websites and apps that show lyrics.
Try to sing along. Don't worry if your pronunciation isn't perfect. The important thing is practicing and having fun with it.
Music helps you remember words and phrases because melody makes things stick in your memory much better than just reading words on the page. And you can do this while showering, driving, establishing, or doing housework. It's fun, not boring like traditional studying.
Let me share a personal story. When I was learning English, I loved rock music. I would listen to the same songs over and over, reading the lyrics until I understood every word.
That's dedication.
Well, it didn't feel like dedication because I loved the music. It was entertainment, not study. But I was learning without realizing it.
That's the secret, isn't it? When learning feels like fun, you do it more consistently.
Exactly. Now, I have some tips for using music to learn English effectively. First, choose songs with clear pronunciation. Some singers mumble or sing very fast, which makes it hard for learners.
Good point. Pop music is usually a safe choice because the pronunciation is usually clear and the lyrics aren't too complicated.
Second tip, read the lyrics while listening. This connects the sounds you hear with the written words, which helps your reading and listening skills at the same time.
And third tip, look up words you don't know. Songs often use interesting vocabulary and expressions that you might not find in textbooks.
Plus, songs teach you about culture. You learn about what people think, feel, and experience in English-speaking countries.
And here's a fun challenge. Try to translate your favorite song from your language into English. It's difficult, but really good practice.
Or write your own simple song in English. It doesn't have to be good, It just has to be practice.
Method number 8. Talk to yourself in English.
Wait, isn't that a bit weird? People might think I'm crazy if I'm walking down the street talking to myself.
Well, you don't have to do it in public. Do it when you're alone, at home, in your car, or somewhere private.
Oh, that makes more sense. So like narrating what I'm doing?
Exactly. Now I'm opening the door. I'm walking to the kitchen. I'm feeling hungry. I think I'll make a sandwich.
The benefit is that there's no judgment. You can make mistakes freely and nobody will correct you or laugh at you.
And speaking practice is so important. Many people can read and write English pretty well, but feel very nervous speaking because they don't practice enough.
This method builds confidence in a stress-free way. You get comfortable with hearing your own voice speaking English.
And you know what? You can also have imaginary conversations. Pretend you're talking to someone and have a conversation with yourself.
Like practicing for a job interview or ordering food at a restaurant.
Exactly. Role play different situations. It might feel silly, but it's incredibly useful preparation for real conversations.
I actually do this before important meetings or presentations. I practice what I want to say out loud by myself several times.
Does it help?
Absolutely. When the real moment comes, the words come out more naturally because I've already practiced them.
That's a great point. Speaking out loud is very different from thinking words in your head. Your mouth needs practice forming the sounds.
Especially English sounds that don't exist in your native language. The only way to get better is to practice physically making those sounds.
So don't be shy. Talk to yourself in English. Your speaking skills will thank you.
Method number 9. Use language learning apps for just 10 minutes daily.
Apps like Duolingo, Memrise, Busuu, or Babbel make learning feel like a game. They're colorful, interactive, and even a bit addictive.
10 minutes is nothing, right? That's less time than watching one YouTube video or scrolling through social media.
But if you do it consistently every day, it adds up. In 1 year, that's more than 60 hours of practice.
The key word is consistently. It's better to study 10 minutes every day than 3 hours once a month. Small, regular practice is more effective than occasional intense study sessions.
Your brain needs regular exposure to remember things. If you study once a month, you forget everything between sessions and have to start over each time.
Exactly. But with daily practice, even just 10 minutes, you're constantly reinforcing what you learned yesterday, last week, and last month.
These apps are also great because they use something called spaced repetition. They show you words and grammar points again and again at specific intervals.
What does that mean?
It means the app shows you something, then shows it again after a day, then after a week, then after a month. This timing is based on how human memory works.
So it helps move information from short-term memory to long-term memory.
Exactly. It's scientifically designed to help you remember. Another benefit of apps is that they're always in your pocket, on your phone, so you can practice anywhere, waiting for the doctor, on the bus, during a lunch break.
Right. You can turn dead time into productive time. Those little moments throughout the day really add up.
Now, I should mention that apps alone won't make you fluent. They're a tool, not a complete solution.
That's true. Apps are great for vocabulary and grammar basics, but you also need listening practice, speaking practice, and real conversations.
So use apps as part of your learning routine, along with some of the other methods we've talked about today. Combine different methods for the best results. And finally, method number 10. Accept that making mistakes is okay.
This is so important. This isn't really a learning method, but it's a mindset that makes all the other methods work better. Many people don't practice because they're afraid of making errors.
But mistakes are how we learn. When you make a mistake, your brain remembers it more strongly than when you get something right the first time.
Think about when you were a child learning your native language. You made thousands of mistakes, and that was completely normal and okay.
Exactly. Children say funny things like, I go to the park, instead of I went to the park. But nobody thinks that's a problem. It's part of learning.
Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. I still mix up affect and effect, and I've spoken English my whole life.
Me too. And don't even get me started on who versus whom. If you're lazy, you definitely don't want to waste energy worrying about perfection. Perfectionism is exhausting.
That's true. Just focus on communicating. If people understand you, that's a success. That's the goal of language.
Grammar can improve over time with practice and exposure. The most important thing is to keep using English without fear. And here's something interesting. Research shows that people who are willing to make mistakes learn faster than people who try to be perfect.
Really? Why is that?
Because they practice more. If you're not afraid of mistakes, you try more things, take more risks, and have more conversations. More practice equals faster improvement.
So mistakes are actually a sign that you're learning and growing. Embrace them.
I like to think of mistakes as stepping stones. Each mistake teaches you something and helps you get closer to your goal.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. And honestly, when you make a mistake and someone corrects you, that's a gift. They're helping you improve.
Absolutely. Don't feel embarrassed. Feel grateful. That person just taught you something new.
So there you have it. 10 methods for learning English when you don't want to work too hard.
Remember, the best method is the one you'll actually do consistently. So choose what fits your lifestyle and personality.
You don't need to do all of these. Even just 2 or 3 methods can make a big difference over time.
The secret is making English part of your daily life, not something separate that requires extra effort or special time.
Exactly. Integrate English into what you're already doing. Learn English while living your normal life.
And remember our important message. You don't have to study for hours every day to improve. Small, consistent actions work better than occasional, intense studying.
Right. It's about building sustainable habits that you can maintain for months and years, not just for a few weeks.
Let me share one final thought. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, and that's okay.
Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Notice your progress even when it's small.
And most importantly, enjoy the journey. If learning English feels like torture, you'll quit. But if it's fun and interesting, you'll keep going. Find ways to make it enjoyable for you. Use your interests and hobbies as a vehicle for learning.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the whole thing. We hope you found these tips helpful.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends who want to improve their English, and leave us a comment telling us which method you want to try first.
We love hearing from our listeners. Your feedback and stories motivate us to keep making more episodes.
And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going, one small step at a time.
See you next time. Or should I say, hear you next time.
Bye.